Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Those are four words that have been part of my childhood, that have multiple forms and eras. Those were around in the 80s and early 90s, and you should know a little about the independent comic, books of Frank Miller. They spawned all sorts of clothes, action figures, video games, and of course the cartoon. In 1990, however, the movie would take the franchise to new heights, and we're looking at today. It opened on New York City, which very solid encapsulation of how the 80s were making a movie in the 90s. It was a good sense of the crime where prior to Julian's campaign cleaning up the city. Everything from wallets to TVs being stolen on a massive scale. With brief glimpses of the thieves, he's being done at a pace too quick for the naked eye. Usually teens are spotted as part of April O'Neil played by Judith Hogue. As for her appearance, there's quite clear more elements from the comics being used in the first film to a point where the Egypt's more of a coat here. I gotta test it would look weird in live action, but not as weird as the Turtles. The opening scenes helping build them up, as April is jumped by some thugs in the wheel of a car, being played by William Sam Rockwell in his first film role. When a side egger smashes a light as they're bound by the police. Raphael Element's lost of his sight, but as tones come around the corner, my face just lights up every time. And I was 9 when I first saw this, and the costumes still hold up over 20 years of advanced special effects. Assembled by the late great Jim Henson and Muppets fame, they were every bit as big a technological advancement as way to digital made another time and that time. Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael meet with Splinter, but become Clash really nice activity. Splinter seeing points of remaining unseen. Raph then decides to go see a movie while Mikey orders a piece of all the trimmings. This leads to my favorite part where the demonstrator is $50 bill for being 2 minutes late, dude. It's also the human appearance of Mikey's puppeteer, Mikkel and Sisti. Raph exiting the cult from Critters, one of the many gremlins knockoffs at the time. The first Sancho ones that felt like Casey Jones, played Elias Cortez in the first fight scene. Steve Barron, the director, they show a certain style as a former music video director, given how he notably directed quite a few Michael Jackson music videos. As such a confident transition to film and viewed it with a certain flair. Right after teases after Casey gets clipped by a text who has his puppeteer, Josh Payes, and Donnie's puppeteer, leave Tony inside it. Splinter tells him back at the layer, even though he tries to bear his burden alone, he doesn't have to. The next morning, April's boss Charles belates her for not letting him know about the mugging, or mentions some dangerous behavior. April interviews Chief Stearns, played by Raymond Sarah, about the foot. Sees Shredder in shadows amongst multiple TVs, always meant to find her and silence her. Stearns is not some place to April's reporting, seems overworked as it is. I must also know that Stearns were created for the film, but they integrate back in the comics, much like Harley Quinn and Agent Coulson. And April is then attacked by foot soldiers in the subway, but is rescued by Raphael. Raph takes her back to the sewers, and is being followed by another foot ninja. When she comes to, Splinter tells a story of how they came to be. Splinter was crawling on the sewers for 15 years prior to the film, living off of people on the surface threw away. They then came across a broken canister of radioactive ooze and 4 baby turtles. With time they grew and mutated force into beings, a training and induced need of Renaissance mentors. Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael. It also turns out they're quite well versed in pop culture, as they and April bond over pizza in her apartment. Temperature that seems to has been kidnapped. Next morning, they show up at her door while they wonder what to do next, and they try to stay out of sight. Today, then runs away from his father when we see the foot club. All the way where teens are drinking, smoking, playing games, skating, listening to rap music. As I said, a solid encapsulation from the 80s making way to the 90s. The trailer shows how he plays in the series as the teens turn into soldiers to fight the Turtles. So a Darth Vader figure, by Eastman layers on a mission, then orders his hand to find the Turtles and punish them. The fight scene that follows one of the key examples of how the film drew more influence in the comics, where the cartoon fights more over the top and silly, the film made them more gritty ground in reality through balanced direction. Raph is knocked out and thrown through a skylight, and in spite of the best efforts of Leo, Donnie, Mikey, and Casey, they had to retreat as Evil's apartment was burned down. Splinter will not tell the Shredder about the Turtles, so they will hang there until he dies. Outraged right-hand man heads or attacks all foot soldiers, including one played by Leo's puppeteer, David Foreman. Next version of the film takes place at Farm Upstate, or possibly one of the locations of the Carolina Double Four, as everyone tries to recall and plan the next move. Also, April and Casey are putting hands after he accidentally reveals she was fired they were leaving. Donnie likens it to moonlighting. It's a bit of an old one, you may have to Google it. I know I will. When Raph comes to, everyone probably begins training for the next battle against the foot, so they meditate on the events of the past few days. Then he just goes to commune with Splinter through the telepathy. Eastman later confirmed he was the Yoda analog. With this, he decides to return to the city. It seems that Danny has been hiding the Turtles' lair and is only the other foot there when Splinter spots April's scheduled lead on his hands. Casey also slips in the club, and Danny asks help to rescue Splinter. Thus, we enter the final act as the Turtles engage the foot in a battle on the streets of New York City. The choreography has a real energy to it as they engage the foot ninjas until they fix an outfit in the building. Taking the first issue of comics is the version of their conflict has gone through the most, so we've been revisited yet again for the new film. And despite the rest of their efforts, they are no match for Splinter, Shredder. Then Shredder holds Yari wickedly, so Splinter confronts with the murder of his master, Hamato Yoshi. Yes, it's really Oroku Saki, who held Yoshi and cut off Splinter's ear. Mad of rage, Saki lunges at Splinter, but who draws a pair of nunchaku from his cloak, holds him over the ledge. In doing himself, Emily tries to throw a kunai at Splinter, but loses grip and falls in a garbage truck. So it tends to have a different outcome each time it's done in one of the adaptations, but they generally never end well with a Shredder. So the Turtles welcome back their master. Danny makes up with his father, gets a job at his new boyfriend, Cowabunga. Well, this movie has definitely aged for my 9-year-old self, as I have, so it means a fun, enjoyable movie. By combining the best elements of comics and cartoon, it manages to entertain fans of both, while being a good movie in its own right. Command's new one will be remembered similarly in another 24 years, as saw a time capsule of 2014 as this one is for 1990. With their exciting fight scenes, great puppetry from Jim Henson, it's one I watch every chance I get. Finally, 3.5 stars out of 4. I intend to continue subbing the DVD this new movie by revisiting the older ones. So be on the lookout for my review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze, dudes.